Hello. Today is Wednesday, November 5th, and your weather highlights today are that it's going to be warm, actually warmer than average this time of year for our area. We're going to see windy conditions. Really, even though we've had some wind gusts this morning, they're going to kind of ramp up this afternoon to between 25 and 30 miles per hour out of the west southwest. And then we're going to see, again, a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms on Friday, but that does not mean we're going to see a lot adding up. So we're not expecting a half an inch to an inch. We'll break that down a little bit, and then we'll talk about this incoming batch of some cooler air to start your week next week. So as we look around the area this morning, as you can see, we're about 20 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday. Again, we've got some of that warm air advection. We've got those winds out of the southwest ahead of that cold front that tends to bring in some warmer, more moist air. So that's, and otherwise, other than precipitation, we don't really see anything across the area. Now, let's go ahead and check out some items related to the cool weather this weekend. As you know, we've been looking for trends in the two main weather models. So the European model, the GFS model. We need to see if they're starting to line up and kind of what they're starting to say. And remember, today's Wednesday. This is going to occur Sunday evening into Monday and Tuesday. So we're still quite a ways out. This that you're looking at is the GFS model. This is Saturday afternoon. And if we put this into motion, I want you to notice this low pressure system. Again, it still has it. So check the box number one. That's good. Has it through central Indiana. Again, not a whole lot of moisture working with, at least with the GFS model. I want you to notice that the minimum pressure of this low pressure is going to be around 1,005 to 1,004 millibars. So normal low pressure system, but nothing too intense. On the backside, we do see that counterclockwise flow, leading to a couple of areas of scattered flurries. I don't want you to see that blue area and think that that means accumulating snow. Absolutely not. But as you can see, it's across parts of Indiana on Sunday afternoon. Now, the European model, okay, look, it's got the low pressure system, so check that. Those both match for both of those models. The European model, though, however, notice it, unlike yesterday, is actually navigating a little further to the south. But it's still there, has a little bit more precipitation to deal with. But something I want you to notice, look here, it's 1,003 millibars, 1,001 millibars, 999 millibars. That means that the European model is currently sniffing this out as a stronger low pressure system and that it's going to intensify as it moves across our region, whereas the GFS has this as not quite a strong low pressure system. So what does that mean for you? Well, if we go ahead and follow this into time, this is Sunday evening into the overnight hours on Sunday into Monday morning. A stronger low pressure system is going to be able to pull down more cold air, advection, and maybe have some more moisture associated with it. So that's why you're seeing more moisture associated with it initially as far as liquid precipitation. But as you can see, it does have scattered, what I would call flurries, maybe a scattered snow shower, but widespread across the area. And that's all thanks to it being stronger than what the GFS low pressure says. So if we compare these two things for the weekend right now, responsibly anyways, we are looking at the European model and the GFS model not agreeing on the strength of the low pressure. The European model has it a little further to the south. The GFS kind of wobbled a little to the north. They're both expecting an area of cold air to move in later this weekend. So we're starting to come into a little bit more of an agreement, but what we need to watch from now over the next 48 hours would be the strength of this low pressure system. Stronger it is, the more cold air advection, the more moisture associated with it, and the more chance of seeing some scattered flurries, even though it appears to be during the dark hours on Sunday. Now, that we've kind of hashed that out, I do want to show you these are the European temperatures, model temperatures for Monday morning. And I expect it to even be actually a little colder than this, but mid 20s. I think as we get into Tuesday morning, it's really going to be in the low 20s across the area, with some areas right around 20. So the hard freeze definitely coming Monday morning and Tuesday morning this next week. As for today across our area, these blue spots on the cloud cover levels of the high resolution model are showing some high clouds. We're going to see some high clouds in the area, and then they will slowly clear out as we head into this afternoon and head off to the east. Now, I briefly want to talk about Friday. This is actually ran the European model total QPF. Again, that's the quantitative precipitation forecast. That is how much expected precipitation is there going to be. I've ran it from now all the way through Sunday mid-afternoon, and as you can see across our area, only a quarter of an inch maybe of precipitation, and that's combining both the low pressure system moving in Friday and then Sunday as well. So again, not a whole lot of moisture to deal with. I don't want you to see in the forecast that it's a 90% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. And as always, it's not a uniform distribution of rainfall. When you're dealing with the possibility of a few thunderstorms, those convective storms are able to dump a little bit more rain. So if you get caught in a thunderstorm on Friday, then perhaps you may see, a little bit more than a quarter of an inch, but that's kind of how that works. The other top story for today are the winds. And I even heard after midnight, was woken up by a couple of wind gusts that were not were loud enough to wake me up, and I'm a deep sleeper. So you can see some wind gusts this morning. Again, this is 30 feet in the air, so don't take these values at face value. It's a little less than that. But this afternoon, you see widespread windy conditions. We're not going to be seeing 35, 32 mile per hour wind gusts, but I would expect to see between 20 and 25 mile per hour wind gust, and an isolated gust of 30 miles per hour. I don't think is completely out of the picture. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our almanac for today. Kind of had some tech issues there, but that's okay. For today, we're seeing our predicted high at around 70 degrees. We are above average in that regard, but nowhere near our record high. And again, sunrise, sunset, hopefully your body is adjusting to those changes. Your bus stop forecast this morning, we are seeing mostly clear skies, 54 degrees this morning, again, about 20 degrees warmer than yesterday, and then 68 degrees this afternoon. We won't stay at our high temperature for very long. Across southern Indiana, pretty consistent. Lows tonight cooling off pretty efficiently, mid 30s, highs right around 70, but mostly sunny and breezy. And as we head through the rest of the week, we are looking again at a chance of showers and thunderstorms on Friday. And then we start to see the cool air arrive as we head into Sunday afternoon, pretty blustery, and then Monday and Tuesday. So that's all we got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the breakdown. Don't fall for the hype monsters out there that are telling you that this is the coldest air we've ever seen. But otherwise, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.